Tippy time, my Jamies, Top Cat here, and welcome back to the channel. Today we are back on our Solar Hunter, chucking knives and taking names, but we're using an exotic that I don't think anybody has ever taken seriously in this game. But I had to do it, I had to have a look at it. I just love chucking knives, and with this I can chuck more than infinite. We already could chuck infinite knives, now we can chuck double infinite knives. It's truly powerful. We will be using the Ophidia Spathe exotic chest armor for this build. Its exotic perk is called Scissor Fingers, and this grants 2 knives per charge. Now the wording there is important because, like a lot of things, like the Amkaras, they have 2 charges. They have 2 charges that you need to go through to get the 2 melees, for example, or the 2 grenades in terms of armamentarium. This essentially will give you 2 for the price of 1. So when you do your dodge to get the melee, it's going to give you 2 charges no matter what. The thing that makes having 2 charged melees so strong is scorch stacks. Having 2 of these melees is going to create an ignition, and we all know how strong these ignitions are. So we can just be chucking down melees time and time again, dodge, chuck 2 melees at him, and it's going to get another ignition. And ignitions are stupid strong this season, not to be underrated. We are going to be using their knife trick. This is the best knife for applying Scorch. We're going to be pairing this with the knock 'em down solar aspect, of course. Whilst we're radiant, it's going to refund our solar knives, and that's what gives us the infinite knives in general, but it's even better with this exotic. We are also going to be using Ember of Torches. Powered melee attacks against combatants make us radiant, so there's our loop going. We're going to be using Ember of Ashes. This applies more Scorch stacks to our targets. And then Ember of Singeing, your class ability recharges faster when you scorch targets. So for every loop of knives that we're chucking at a target, it's going to be genning our class ability even faster. When we have a faster gen on our class ability, we can do a dodge and get more stacks of melee. So this is just a looping thing. You can get your class ability back in like 3-4 seconds. It's stupid quick and makes this an infinite loop and great damage. This is now my go-to choice for the Solar Hunter, as the Caliban's hands, they're great nukes, great fun, but you need to find the right targets to set up the explosions. Same with the Arthur's Embrace, you want to be getting those precision shots. This is nice and easy, you're just chucking out blade after blade after blade. Not only are you just killing all the red bars and everything, you can also target bigger enemies now, the orange bars. Because you've got those double knives and you can create those ignitions at will, it just makes everything so much easier, and it just flows so much nicer because of it. I've run this dungeon multiple times now, pretty much just using exclusively melee. I'll still use like a lament and a fusion every now and again during a damage phase, but when you can just create ignitions through 2 chucks and knives, do a dodge, 2 chucks and knives, and it feeds it back to you, why would you not? Ember of Blistering makes our ignitions give us grenade energy. I'm using the solar grenade that creates more scorch as well on top of that. Ember of Imperium, solar weapon and ability final blows are going to stack our restoration and everything. We're using Gambler's Dodge, of course, and Blade Barrage for a good super, of course, and it's more scorch stacks again. You watch here, 2 there, ignition, blows those up. Those are really quickly dead, and that was just a flick of the wrist. Why would you not be using this and saving your special ammo so you can do DPS, right? I still use these knives during these boss phases. You know, the ignitions are still strong, so you still use them, chuck on the scorch stacks, but just lay it all up. You know, then you can use your fusion rifle or your lament, whatever you might want for damage, but that's when you want to have full ammo, you know. I don't want to be scurrying around between damage phases trying to find ammo. I'd just rather have ammo because I'm using my melee all the time. On our armor, we're going to be using a melee Wellmaker, Harmonic Siphon, and Fusion Ammo Finder. Melee Wellmaker again, and ×2 Focusing Strike. This is going to grant us class ability when we do damage with our melee attack. We've obviously got a lot of melee attacks, so we're going to get a lot of class ability. Seeking Wells. Arc Resistance, highly recommended inside of this season. as we have got Armor of the Dying Star, and that will have our solar and void damage resistance covered. bountiful wells, and a sword scavenger. And I've got an innovation mod here. Any loose orbs lying around is also going to feed us back grenade energy. Classy restoration is a must. Utility kickstart. And solar fulmination. Solar fulmination is obviously going to be really nice as we're creating lots of ignitions and those booms are going to go a lot bigger. But classy restoration is very important and I would highly recommend using it this season, particularly with this build, as we're able to chain melee after melee after melee with this, and our Ember of Imperium is going to allow us to keep that restoration and that radiant buff just constantly at max, ticking over, so we never have to worry about our heals. On this build I'm using high recovery, high mobility and high strength just to keep the chain going as best I can. Try if you can, but don't sweat it if you can't. Anyway, my damies, that is the build for today. Highly recommend you give this Solar Hunter a go. Like if you liked, sub if you're new and you liked. Comment down below if you've got any questions or just want to chat. And until next time, tippy tie my damies, what a tie.
Bottom of everything, he's the most tip-top.